Right, good morning class. So at this point we're looking at the homework. The homework was out of the Bodmas booklet, the Bodmas fractions, and that was book A, worksheet 2, the even numbers. Is that correct? Right, so let's answer these questions quickly. The first answer is 2 over 3. You all agree with that? The next one is 2 over 4, which is a half. It's a half. Which is a half? 2 over 4 is half. Good. If you got 2 over 4, it is half. But I don't think that is right. 2 years. Let's see. Okay, so this one I disagree. I'm going to come back to that one. The next one? Some people. The next one? 54. The next one? 5. Right. Let's see if she's correct. The first one, is that correct? Yes. The next one, I disagree. Here is going to be 1 divided by 3 over 4 minus 1 over 4. The LCM is 4. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 over 4. So it's 1 multiplied by 4 over 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. 1 times 2 is 2. Okay. Who disagree with 54? Alright, let's try 54. This one here. It's going to be 1 over 9 plus 1 over 6 divided by 15. So what's your LCM here? 18. So it's going to be 18. You times this by 2. So it's going to be 2. Multiply that by 3. Change this to multiplication. So it's 1 over 15. 2 plus 3 is 5 over 18 times 1 over 15. 5 going to 5 ones. 5 going to 15. 3 times. 1 times 1 is 1. 18 times 3 is 54. Wrong. 1 over 54 is correct. If you write 54 in the exam, of course it's going to be incorrect. Okay. People number 8. Who disagree with 8? Right? No problem, I'll do it. It's going to be 9 over 20 times, what's your LCM? 9. So that's over 1. You times this by 9. So 9 times 1 is 9. You must multiply that by 1. So it's going to be 5. So it's 9 over 20 times 4 over 9. That cancels, not so? 4 going to 4 1, 4 going to 20, 5 times. So it's 1 times 1 is 1, 5 times 1 is 5. So the answer is 1 over 5. Okay. Who got 1 over 5? So why don't you all put up your hand if you disagree? You must say you don't agree. You mustn't be shy, no? You must just say. Try and help you. Right, next. Number 10. Let's see. Yes?
Can you put that window side and the sun reflection?
The window?
Yeah, like
the curtain you mean?
Yeah.
Or is the reflection of the light? Oh, okay. And this one?
Yeah.
Right, number 6. What's your answer to number 6? So you're busy with number 10. Okay. So we're busy with number 10.
Yes, sir.
Okay, no problem. Number 10. 4 over 3. Number 12. 1 over 7. Number 14. 7 over 6. The next one, 3 over 8. The next one, 21 over 4. The next one, 17 over 2. Who got all those answers? Nobody. Did you get all those answers? Who got one wrong of the answers I got on the board? Everything wrong. Okay, let's see what the issues are. Okay. So now what I need you to do is, since most of you is getting everything wrong, not a problem. That's why you say it's bored. You know, if you get all the stuff right all the time, then you start getting bored. Not so. If you're still learning, you shouldn't be getting bored. You should be excited.
So for me the problem is that for fractions there are many rules, like for subtraction, multiplication, addition and division.
Yeah, you see that is why we started off with the diagnostic test on fractions. And then we went into the fraction extension. And we did the fraction practice. So if you had continuously practiced and done all those exercises and understood what you are doing, then you should be able to do this. So in some way it's a miss. Okay? Yes, Michael? You got one wrong. Which one did you get wrong? Number 14. Right. So you read for me what you got on number 14. Okay, so let's try and locate what the problem is. Okay? So the sum was 1 over 3 minus 5 over 9 multiplied by 3 over 10. Right, go for it, Michael. You read for me your first line you have in your book.
4 over 3
Which is correct.
minus 1 over 3 times 1 over 3.
Right, so what you did was you cancel. 5 goes to 5 once, 5 going to 10 twice, 3 going to 3 once, 3 going to 9 twice. So that's how you got 1 over 3 and 1 over 2.
Yes.
Correct? Right. Then what did you write?
And then then I made 4 over 3 minus 2 over 6.
2 over, there's your mistake. 1 multiplied by 1 is 1, not 2. 3 multiplied by 2 is 6. You understand where you went wrong? So what are we supposed to do now, people? LCM. What's my LCM here? 6. So 3 multiplied by what is 6? 2. 4 times 2? 8. Minus. 6 times what is 6? 1. So that's 8 minus 1? 7. Which makes me correct. Okay. Yes, Michael.
I wanted to ask,
You ask anything you want to ask.
for example,
Example, yeah.
for a whole number, like,
Unzikelo.
yes,
Yes. Unzikelo. Example. Yes.
like for a whole number like 2,
2, yes.
why do you write 2 over 1 instead of 4 over 2? Yeah.
Okay. If the number, like here the number is 2. To represent that as a fraction, it can be written as 2 over 1. If you have a million and you want to write that as a fraction, it's a million over 1. If it's 500 as a fraction, it's 500 over 1. So that is the first step I do in converting into fraction. Now, if you need a denominator to be 2, then it's going to be 4 over 2. The denominator for 1 over 2, you need a denominator of 5. Then it's going to be, if the denominator is going to be 5, then what would it be? For 5 times 1 is 5. 2 times 5 is 10. Can you see that? If you need a denominator to be, okay, having a problem with this board now. You're not grade 9, eh? No, not yet. Where are we? Next page. Yeah. Like, if you needed this denominator to have been 2, Then this is going to be you times by 2, 4 over 2. So it depends on what the denominator, what you need the denominator to be. So is it wrong? No. If you needed the denominator to be 2. You understand? Alright. Any other questions with regards to the sum? No. Alright. Who got 2 wrong? Besides this one now. Who got a sum wrong other than 40? 2 wrong. Madison, how much did you get wrong?
5.
Shh.
Everything.
Okay.
No, that's not easy.
Okay, who got 3 wrong?
That's it.
Okay, just a minute. Who got 3 wrong?
So it's not like from 10. So, but so my
No, listen to the question. Who got 3 of the sums wrong? Nobody. Who got 4 wrong? You go. Did you get 10 wrong, Michael? You. You didn't get 10 wrong. 12?
10, 14, 16.
No, did you listen? You must listen to the question now. Did you get 10 wrong? Number 10. Yes, okay. So you'll do number 10 for me. So, is that you? I would like to see where the mistake is in it, so that we can eradicate the mistake. We can sort out the mistake. Because that mistake is made, she's making the mistake in the other sums as well. The same mistake you're making, or a similar mistake. You understand? So if I ask you a question and you got the sum wrong, it's nothing to bring you down or anything. It's actually to fix your misunderstanding. You understand? And if somebody has a question, don't go on the way you people go on. Okay? Right, go for it, man. Right, so it's 2 over 1.
Minus 5 over 6.
Yeah?
Divided by 1 over 8. And then
1 over 8. It's a 7 over 8. So see if you wrote a 1 or 7. You wrote 7 or 1? The 1. So that is your mistake in the sum. Okay, who else got number 10 wrong? That wrote 7 over 8. You wrote 7 over 8. Right. Now this one, this girl here. She put up pen. Right. Now you read for me your next step you got it.
12 minus 5.
Right, so your LCM is 6. You times that by 6. So it's 12 minus 5, which is absolutely correct. Carry on. No. Take your mouse back on you.
Equals 1 over 6 times
1 over 6.
Because I can't go with 2 tables.
Didn't you change this to multiplication yet? So now you must read that line where you change.
Oh,
So it's times
so
8 over 7.
7 over 6 times 8 over 7.
7 over 6. So you're saying 12 minus 5 is 7 over 6, yes? Times, which is correct at this point. 7's cancelled. 7 going to 7 ones? 7 going to 7 ones. 1 times 8 is? 8. So your answer is 8 over 6. Okay. And then you got? How can you get 3 over 4? If it's 8 over 6. 2 goes into 8? 4 times. 2 going to 3? 6 3 times. So it's 4 over 3, not 3 over 4. You understand? But what you could have done here was already 2 goes into here 3 times, 2 goes into here 4 times. 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 3 is? You understand? Which makes that correct. Okay, any questions regarding this one? Yes?
It's still fine if you write it as a mixed fraction.
1 and 1 over 3, absolutely. Yes?
I see my mistake. But
Well done to you.
But how I do is like, I just say the whole number. Okay, so I say 2.
So you say 2 minus 5 over 6 is 1 and 1 over 6.
No.
What do you say?
I say 2. Okay, since I know how many 6s are in 1.
Yeah, but not everybody's so clever like you. Now you see, now there's another problem. You got the calculator.
No, so I was calculating this now, so.
Read.
Because I know that 2 minus 5 is 7, 6.
7 6.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fine. Just remember, in the exam you don't use a calculator. No? So put it away now. So if you're testing it on the calculator, it's fine.
I was doing that.
Okay. But importantly, when you do the homework, try and do it without the calculator. Okay? As far as possible. Because in the exam, you're not going to use a calculator. Okay? Right. Anybody else has a question with regards to number 10? No. Okay, what's your question, Michael?
I found my mistakes.
Okay, what is your
I
mistake?
didn't listen to Sir when he told me I should simplify it first. I was still going to bigger numbers.
Yeah, you see now, she didn't listen to me. Now I'm at I enough you. You guys must not listen. And if I tell you, if you did that in primary school, that was fine for primary school. Yeah? There's a technique I'm showing you so that you can use it in the higher grades. Okay? I do teach grade 12, so I know what you need to know. Okay? Okay? Right. Now coming back to that goal. Let me start it off with. Did you get number 12 right? Yes. Number 16. No, right. Now we're on 16. So now you read for me your first line you have.
So 1 minus
Yes?
brackets 9/8
Which is correct, yes?
minus a whole.
Nice. Carry on.
Bracket and then 1 minus. Then I made the
LCM,
16
right? Which is not ideal but correct, yes?
and then I times 9 by
2, yes? Which gives you?
18.
Yeah?
Then I times 1 by 8 minus 8.
1 by 8.
1 over 8.
Oh, 1 by 8, yes?
And then 1 minus 10 over 16.
It says 1 minus 10 is absolutely correct, yes? What's your LCM here? Just give her a chance. I'm trying to locate her mistake. You guys understand? So she must read what she has in her book. Is that okay? Right. Carry on.
Then I said
16
16 over 6.
over 6.
Then I
So 1 times 16 is 16. That's 16 minus 10. You don't have this step. It's supposed to be 6 over 16.
but I did that.
So you got 6 over 16. What number goes into 6 and to 16 without remaining? What number goes into 16 and to 6 without remaining? 2. So 2 goes into 16 3 times, 2 goes into 6 thrice, and 2 goes into 16 8 times. The answer is 3 over.
I didn't something.
You didn't simplify. But now listen, what did I say earlier on? Always simplify, no? Before multiply. Okay, now, here it wasn't about that. Here you are applying again what you did in primary school. You multiplied 8 and 2, which gives you 16. 2 times 9 is 18 minus 8. No? Is that what you did? Okay. But your LCM, your lowest common multiple between 8 and 2 is not 16. It's actually 8. Why? Because that 2 can go into 8. Can you see that? 2 can go into 8. So 8 multiplied by what is 8? 1. So that's going to give me 9. 2 multiplied by what is 8? 4. So it's going to give you minus 4. So it's 1 minus 5 over 8. What's your LCM here? 8. You times it by 8. It's 8 minus 5. And 8 minus 5 is? Yeah. Then you just write it down. Okay. You have to fast. One day we're going to be on your level. No? Just not today. We must first sort out the basics. Okay? Right. That girl we busy with? 18? Got 18 right? Right, go for it. Same mistake. Okay, who would like to do 18? Sorry? Right, go for it, Michael. So we just write the sum down. It's 1 over 2. 1 and 1 over 2, 5 over 8. See, it's ideal to read what you have in your book, no? So that I can see where you're going wrong. Right, go for it.
So in the brackets I said 3 over 2
3 over 2 is absolutely correct.
minus 5 over 8.
Yes.
And then I found the LCM.
And what's your LCM?
8.
8, nice. So you times this by 4, that by 1. Right, carry on.
So I got 12 over 8 minus 5 over 8
Yes, times
times
6, which is also 6 over. Right, carry on. 7 over. That's your mistake. You're saying 7 over 1. It's 7 over 8 times 6 over 1. What must we do now? Is there a number that can go into 6 and into 8 without a remainder? Yes. 2 go into 6 3 times. 2 go into 8 4 times. So 7 times 3 is 21 over 4. Or 5 and 1 over 4. Sorry? So what was your answer?
5 and 1 over 4.
5.
And 1 over
It's absolutely correct.
I walked it wrong, but I got 4 wrong.
Okay. So Madison, did you get number 12 wrong?
So, my answer was 7, not 1 over 7.
1 over 7. Okay. So read for me what you have.
I didn't simplify. Maybe that's all.
You couldn't have. Right. Read for me your first line.
My LCM.
Can't you find the LCM here?
Oh, which is time, you know?
Yes.
That's why.
You can't find the LCM when you
So
multiply.
I just related that.
Now whose fault is it?
My fault.
Exactly.
My brain is just trouble.
Listen, when you get home, you take a rest, eat whatever, take a nap. First thing you do is you do your maths homework.
So my
Never leave maths homework for long.
So my math is 5 hours.
Then you nap for 5 hours. Then when you do your homework, after that, then you do it. It's fine, no problem. Yes.
Okay, so for division, we find the LCM.
No. Only addition and subtraction. Yes, Michael.
So in the brackets for the multiplication,
Yes.
you always simplify.
Yeah, you simplify. So let's do this one quickly. 2 goes into 2 once, 2 go into 4 twice. So it's 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 3 is 2 times 3 divided by. Before I can change this to multiplication, I must sort this out. Not so? So it's going to be 7 over 6. Change to multiplication. 1 over 6 multiplied by.
6 over 7.
So what happens here? 1, 6 going 6 once, 6 going 6 once. Now many would say that answer is 7. Okay? So 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 7 is 7. Okay? Are you all okay with that? Right? Let's look at the last one. You can take a chart off, no? Just take it off. You put it down. You can put it on that thing at the back there. Under, no, not that chart. That chart wasn't blowing. Just the ones that is blowing. The color one there at the back, Michael. That one is blowing as well. Put the fan on again. Put it down. Let's see. Put on number 3. Okay, that one's also blowing. Take it off. The blue one, as in. Okay. Number 20. So at this point, if you feel that you still didn't sort out your issue, okay? Who feel that they still don't know where they're going wrong? You answered 3 questions already. How can you not know where you're going wrong? You. Okay, go for it. Now I'm talking about numbers. Okay, again you must listen to what I say. Ask. For those of you got number 20 wrong. Number 20. Okay? And you feel that you still don't know where you're going wrong. Who feels like it? Right. Oh, you're the one of that long question. No? You're the one that's bored. No? I won't forget. I'll try not to say it, but I will remember. No? Right, go for it.
So I left it out.
You just left it out. Okay, who would like to attempt this one?
What one is that?
Number 20. Right, go for it.
So if I get something wrong, let's come.
If you get it wrong, I'll explain to you again. Right.
So 6 times.
Yes?
And in brackets. And then
30 plus 1?
31 over 6.
Yes, minus?
15 over 4.
Nice, 15 over 4. You all understand it? Right, now what? What's your LCM inside the bracket? 12. How do we get 12? Between 6 and 4. Can 4 go into 6? No. What's the next multiple? 6. Let's count in 6s. 6, 12. Can 4 go into 12? So 12 is your LCM. Yeah, that's what I said always. You're going to multiply that and then you multiply that by 4 and that by 6. No? That's what you guys normally do. But like I'm saying, later on, when you got 3 terms, it's not going to work. So stop doing that. Please. You're going to have bigger problems later on. So if you're a student that is doing that all the time, stop it. I know they taught you that in primary school. It's not going to always work. Can 6 go into 4? No. Now you count the multiples of 6s. It's going to be 12. So 6 times 2 is 12. 31 times 2. What is 31 times 2? 62 minus. 4 times what is 12? 3. 45. So it's going to be 6 over 1 multiplied by. What is 62 minus 45? 17. 17 over 2. Okay? Now what? 6 goes into 6 once, 6 goes into 12. 6 goes into 6 once, 6 goes into twice. So 1 times 17 over. Okay?
So it's okay if you say 8 and 1.
Yeah, every time you ask me the same. Yes. Okay. Which make all these answers correct. So of course now, you are going to get the next 3 wrong. For the next few sums. So what I'm going to do is for homework, I want you guys to do only these 5 sums. Let's sort these 5 sums only out. For homework, okay? I only got 5 sums on Bodmas. If you still don't understand, go watch the video again of today. For the girlie that is, the thing is blocked, you send me a message and I'll try and sort it out for you, okay? Otherwise, watch the video again, especially when if you got all these sums wrong as you indicated, and you still have a problem, sort it out, okay? Because if you look at the Bodmas worksheets, it's just going to get bigger. The sums are only going to get bigger, okay? So let's get this sorted out at this point, okay? So I'm not going to give you no other Bodmas other than that 5 sums. We're going to do that 5 sums on the board tomorrow again, okay? If there is still problems pertaining that. People, you guys had homework from the preparing for high school maths textbook. You had to do skills. Okay, just hang on. From the diagnostic test. Okay, let's start there. You had to do skill 10, No, that is from the practice, decimal practice. 11 and 12 was from page 55. This is what I'm interested in now, before the bell rings, okay? Okay. Scale 11, and this is on page 55. Again, at any point when you watch these videos, just look on the screen where you see the text underlined. That indicates which page we're on, which exercise you're working from. Okay. So next year, what can happen is, before you come to the lesson, you can actually watch that day's lesson before the time. That's from next year onwards, okay? Alright. Because this is now the first time I'm recording the first term. I started last year in the fourth term. So if you want to watch the fourth term's grade 8 videos in the fourth term, not now, you're not going to know much. In the fourth term, you will be able to watch a lesson before the time. Okay? That is why tuition works, okay? It's not because the tutor is good. It's because, okay, some tutors are good, but it's because you are listening for the same thing for the second time. That is why. That is why it feels like the tutor is doing more work than the teacher, no? Not that. I also tutor, so I know. Everybody says, no, it's not that. It's because you are hearing the same thing for the second time. Okay. So at this point we're looking at converting fractions into decimals. Alright. So it says make the following fractions into decimals. That's 0.75. No, who doesn't know that? The first one. You're all okay with 0.75? Okay. Nice. So that's 0.75. So I don't need to explain this one. B?
0.40.
0.4. Okay, you all agree with that? Who's confused there? What did you get? 3.4. How do you get 3.4?
Because so when normally if the fraction is like the denominator is like in the tens or hundreds, then
Yeah.
we consider so if that was 30 over 50, then it would be 3 over
4. 3 over 4 is what?
I did 3 over 4. I didn't really find the
For 2 over 5 you write it as 3 over 4.
No, I'm talking about A.
I think your understanding is wrong, Michael. What you must do is for 2 over 5, you're dividing it by 5. Not so. And you're dividing 2 by 5. You all agree with that? Now can 5 go into 2? No. So you go put normally a dot there. But because you go into decimals, you put a 0 there. You put that 0 there, a comma. Okay. So since 5 can't go into 2, how much are we carrying? 2. So that you put a 2 there. 5 goes into 20 how many times? 4 times. Do I need to carry anything? No. So 0.4 squared. Okay. So I'll carry on from here doing this is shorthand division, eh? Short division. So what would this be? It's 9. What do you guys get as an answer here? 0.4. Who got 0.4? For C. What did you guys get for C? No, for C, I mean, listen, B is we passed it. C. What's the answer to C? Who got an answer? Yes?
I got
0.09. Who got 0.09? It's not correct? Who? Okay. Who has an answer to C? What is your answer, Michael? 4,1. That means to say there's 4 holes already. So yes, that means to say there must be a 4 there. Or 9 times 4 is 36 plus 1. So it's 35 over 9. That's the only way I'll get a 4 here. 4 comma something. Which means to say there's 4 holes. That's not correct. So yeah, this is how you do it. Okay, as you see, most of you don't know. This is how you do it. The denominator is what you're dividing it by. You're dividing 1. You say, okay, 9 can't go into 1. The girl at the back, you're facing that direction. You know what's going on here? The girl at the back. Sorry? You know. So what is your answer? Sorry? So you didn't do the homework? Okay, so what's your answer to D? Michael? What's your answer to D? So you agree you don't know what's going on here? Then you must look here. Okay, can 9 go into 1? No. So you put a dot or a 0 in this case. Why 0? So it's going to add a few zeros there. Normally I work to 3 decimal places or 2 decimal, doesn't matter. So 9 can't go into 1. So how much are we carrying? 1. You all okay with that, no? So this number is now 10. 9 goes into 10 how many times? 1. Carry? 1. 9 goes into 10 how many times? 1. Carry? 9 goes into 10 how many times? 1. And so on. So you see, in line with this comma, I put that comma. The answer is 0, 1, 1. If you want to put another one, you may. Yes, Michael?
So how many like zeros do you put?
You can put 5. Put 5 zeros. Or 4 zeros. Doesn't matter. Yes, Michael?
So I put 0, 1
0, 1 is absolutely correct. Because what she's saying is, it's going to carry on forever. Not so? So to represent it like that, 0, 1 recurring is actually the better answer. Because that is actually what's happening in reality. That will go all the way to infinity. Because if I carry on and on and on to the other class and around the world and I come back here and again the 1 will carry on. You understand? So the way you're going to represent that is going to be 0, 1 and the dot on top means to say it's recurring. Absolutely correct. I will give you answer the full marks in both cases. Unless the question specifies answer in the recurring form or rounding off to 2 decimal places. If the question was to round off to 2 decimal places and you write this as an answer, you're going to lose the mark. It depends what is asked. If it was not specified, you have a choice. Either one of the 2. You guys understand? Now, the next one would also be a recurring number. And what did you get, Michael, at the back? For that one? Yes? Recurring, nice. Who got 0,45 recurring? 0,45. Okay, so some of you still didn't get that? No problem. You're just going to, what number is going to go here? Here. 11, we're dividing by them. We're dividing 5 by them. So what do I put here? Zeros. Okay. Can 11 go into 5?
Your attention, please.
How much are we carrying?
Can you please report to the office? Nolotandra Moses, please report
Just
to
wait
the
till we
office.
finish.
And then the clothing store will be open for any learners who still need to purchase clothing, books. Please go to the clothing store. Thank you.
Okay. So 11 goes to 50 how many times? 4 times. How much remaining? 6. Why? Because that was 44. To 50 is more 6 remaining. 11 going to 60 how many times? 5. Carry? 5. So it was 55 and 5 remaining. 11 goes into 50 how many times? 4 times. Carry? 6. 11 going to 60 how many times?
Shiloh Narajimana,
5.
can you please report
Carry?
to the office? Shiloh Narajimana, please report to the
5.
office.
So what do you notice? You're going to carry 5 and you're going to carry 6. You're going to carry 5 and you carry. And that will happen all the way to infinity for a very long time. Not so. So in line with this, I put a comma. So that is going to be 0, 4, 5. 4, 5. Okay? Or in the recurring format, that is going to be written as 0, 4, 5. The 4 is recurring and the 5 is recurring. Yes, Michael?
So if it continues on continuously, then what's the calculation?
Sorry?
If it continues on like all the time, what's the calculation?
What's the question was to convert it to decimal. So we take that fraction and writing its equivalent in decimal format. That's the idea. Okay. Let's look at the last one quickly before we leave. This is not detention, eh? This is detention? No. Okay. What are we dividing by? 6. Right. Can 6 go into 5? No. So what do? Either dot, in this case, is going to be a 0. Why? Because it has a place value. If it doesn't have a place value, we put a dot. There's girlfriend that's sleeping here. The lesson boring. Huh? Would you like me to give you a sum? How are you sleeping? How must I feel? Right. So 6 going into 5. How much are we carrying? 1. 5 60 goes into 50. 6 goes into 50. 8. It was 48. No? No. Yes, 48. Carry? 2. 6 going to 20 how many times? 30? 3. Carry? 2. 6 going to 20 how many times? 3. Carry? 2 and so on and so on. So in other words, it's going to be 0, 0,83 recurring or 0,833 or 83. Do you guys understand? So in our next lesson we're going to answer the remaining questions. So for homework out of the preparing for high school, I want you guys to do, we did all the diagnostics, no? Right. For homework I want you guys to do skill 12, no, skill 11 on page 68. Skill 11 on page 68, the odd numbers. Skill 12, the odd numbers as well, page 68. Then you go into decimal extension on page 69. On page 69, we do for me number 1. Number 5. Now, it's on page 70. Number 1, number 5. And you do number 10. There's a few sums I still wanted to give you out of that, but not for now. Give it to you tomorrow. People, enjoy the rest of your day. Good afternoon, class.